Hello and welcome, that's me merchandise, and yes, we are finally covering this, how a realist hero rebuilt the kingdom. Now, I have had a lot, and I mean a lot, of suggestions over the year, or the past few years even, to check this one out. It's always been really highly ranked for people who love light novels, and when I know it's been out on G Novel Club for quite some time. However, I don't know why, reading digitally light novels isn't great for me. I want to do it more, but it's like, there's nothing more than actually having an actual physical book in your hands to be able to do it. So as soon as I saw this, I was just like, I saw it on the shelf, I was just like, yep, I'm buying this. I've got lots of other stuff I need to read, but this one will take priority, and dear God, it is so worth it. So, this is brought to us by cedes. Yes, cedes, and it's one of the early J Novel Club ones. I know they did, I think they did Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash, I think it's called, or well, Grimgar, whatever Grimgar's called. I know there's two different names over here and over in Japan and over in America. It's ridiculous. But this was the first one I actually have been able to read, and my God, it is a massive, big book. And there's about 370 pages for volume 1. Now, to put that in perspective, normally when I am for volume 1, there's normally 200 and odd. So there is quite a bit. There's not many coloured pages, and there's not actually many images at all. But there is a few coloured ones at the beginning, just so you can kind of get a feel of what some of the characters look like. I will get to that in a later point, because that's the one thing I'm not huge on. But oh my God, so this is about a young man, Kazuya Souma, who is transported to another world. Now, this kingdom, they summon the heroes, and they either have them defeat the demon lord, or they offer them up as tribute. Because the kingdom, the demon lord's expanding his forces, and the kingdoms are like, you pay me tribute, I have all this money, or a hero, or whatever. So obviously the demon lord's fearing the hero because he's gonna kill him or whatever. So he is transported into the other world. However, this isn't a regular loser who hasn't gone to school or hasn't done anything. This is a guy who dreams of like having a bit of a bureaucrat position. He's actually got a lot of the very much sensibility of like, I'm gonna be somebody someday. He's young. To be honest, out of all of the heroes, like, I mean, I've seen stuff like Overlord and Kazuma and Subaru, and they've all had ridiculous abilities, and this is the kind of the one where he's that normal and he's got that much of a brain. I'm like, this is unrealistic. So yeah, he comes to the kingdom. He has everything explained to him, and he just kind of just like, him and the king have this conversation, and then the king comes out and is just like, yeah, he's the new king now. You, my daughter, you're going to get married to him. And everyone's just like, what? What's going on? And he's just like, yeah, he's the king. And he ends up having the kingdom thrust upon him. And yeah, it's very much like that. And so he decides that what they're going to do is, instead of having himself tributed as the hero, they're going to raise funds. And he's like, well, if you do this, we can get funds here. And it's like, we'll sell off half of the treasury. Why do you need a treasury when there's going to be no kingdom anyway? Because the demon lord's just going to eventually invade if you don't do anything next year. He's like, we can solve this, we can build roads here. It's like there's a whole thing with the sewers where it's like, why have we got this, like, all this labyrinth underneath the city for the royal family to escape? We'll use these as sewers so the town isn't stinking of poo. Because obviously they're in like the whole medieval, they're just chucking it out on the streets, and it's just like, yeah, why? We'll just build a sewage system, we've got irrigation, we've got lakes, and we've got all of this. And he very much almost straight away flips things on his head. The princess, who we see on the front cover, she's just like, at first she's like, no, why do I have to marry this guy? And it's just like, the main guy's just like, you don't have to. He's like, I'm not going to stay around and be the king for the whole time. I'm going to just get rid of, I'm going to sort the kingdom out, and then I'm going to go on my merry little way. Obviously she falls head over heels with him. It is a little bit harem-y, but it's not in a bad way. It's not bad at the point that it's like, oh well, he's after all of them, and he's like, yeah, I've got all these girls, and he's kind of just like, yeah, do whatever you want, I don't care. So one of the first things he does is they've got like this radio broadcast system, which is like they use it to say, oh, we're going to war, so, and then he's just like, yeah, I'm going to use this for something else, and he's like, oh, if you have an amazing talent, bring it to me, and I will make use of you. If you think you are the best at what you do, I will find something. And there are 5 characters who are very important, and they do make a big deal. There's a tanned elf girl who... a tanned dark elf even, sorry, who like lives on the forest, and then she's just like, she wins like the tournament to be the strongest, and she's like, I'm not gonna bow, and then he's just like, I want you to have a look at this, and he's just like, oh yeah, do you do like all of these things with trees and cull the rainforest and stuff like that? And he's just like, no, I didn't think of that, and that comes into play very much at the end of the book. There's a overweight man who's always been made fun of, and he's just like, well, he spent all of his money on being going around the world tasting like foods and all that, and he's just like, yeah, we've got a food shortage, you go get to work, we'll find out all of the stuff that we can eat that people don't normally eat, stuff like octopus, they don't normally eat octopus. He's like, right, brilliant, we'll have this, we'll start eating that. They changed the whole crop system. It's like, we'll be making crops for like to make clothing and stuff like that. We'll get rid of that, we'll import the clothing, we'll do this, and it's very very economical. There's a guy who's like, I've read every single book there is in the world, and I can read books, I can memorise them, and it's just like, yeah, you can be the librarian. He's like, no, it's like once he sees one of the other guys, it's like, I can be better use, and he eventually becomes the Prime Minister, because of course. There's a woman who, a Lilith, who can memorise any song, which as soon as he hears the song, he's got his iPod, he's sitting there teaching her Gundam songs. There's a fantasy world where the songstress is singing Gundam songs, and he's just there sitting there, it's like, well, I sung this song of ZZ Gundam, and I was just like, anime janai, I was just like, oh my god. And yeah, it's stuff like that. There's the young lolly girl where she's like, oh, I'm very poor, we've had to escape with the Beastman tribe and stuff like that, and he's just like, but I can talk with animals, and then we find out, oh well, demon, she spoke to a demon, and they're just like, oh right, we need you to stay here, and blah blah blah. It's very much, and it's so engrossing. I got through this, I read these light novels at work, and this is the first time I've been excited to go into work just to read light novels. I was excited because I was reading on my break, I was like, yeah, this is so good, and it's just so, I mean, the other things as well with the series is like I said, it goes so in depth. Like I said, one of the things early on is just like, it says how the things happen in the future. It's like, oh well, he became this, and it's like, because of the things he did, this changed. I mean, there was one where there's this old man, he goes, you can't, because they're starting to build a city, and they're building a road to the city, and he's like, this is the perfect place for a city, and the old man's like, nope, you can't do that, and it's like, the sea god will swallow them up, and it's like, what are you on about? And it's like, the sea god will destroy it every 100 years or something, this happens, and he's just like, the ground shakes, and then the sea god just destroys all of the buildings, and someone was just like, the ground shakes, but the sea god does it. And then he's just like, so basically what it is, the old man is explaining a tsunami. There's an earthquake, then a tsunami comes up. Because they don't know what a tsunami is, it's the sea god. And they build the city to adapt that, and the old man becomes the legendary old man who saves the city because he told the king about the sea god. And to say, yeah, we don't need to fear the sea god because this legendary old man, well, basically all he was is just this crazy old man just like, you can't do that, the sea god's doing it. And it's honestly, I was almost in tears. It was so amazing the way they did it. This book, it's like I said, it's about 300. It's about coming up to 400 pages. There is a lot of little mini stories. There's a chapter where they go on a date, and they explore the kingdom. It's one where you meet other characters. You meet generals. You meet the side characters, and each of those side characters have chapters for themselves at the end of the book. It's they have ones where it's just like, oh well, the overweight man Poncho who's making food, he's sitting in they're having like a whole kind of thing about this weird mysterious goblin type thing who's in the kitchens on a night and like disturbing stuff and concocting potions to kill everybody. And when one of the maids finds out, it's this bloke who's sitting there trying out all these new recipes, and it's just like, and then you go like, but then they become closer and closer, and you're like, oh yeah, it's this guy who's being told he's useless is they're getting close to the maid, and it's like shipping, it's a lot of great stuff like that. Now, the thing that I didn't like about this, because I'm not going to completely praise it, size of the book is massive. I mean, so far I know that there's 3 planned. I think it's still going. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, this is going to take up a lot of space. The other thing as well is the character designs aren't amazing. So that's the 5 main characters, like 5 characters that were brought out, and I'm like, if this was an anime, because the character designs aren't catching enough, I think a lot of people will pass this. And I mean, it's the story that does it. That's always the story. But when you look at something like Overlord, where they've got the big menacing irons out goon, Konosuba, where you've got your harem, you've got your over the top designs, ReZero, which had amazing designs. This is kind of just like, yeah, protagonist and girl. It's nothing quite amazing design wise, but that's half the charm. I mean, one of the things I was kind of glad with is that they actually do show the characters at the beginning, because otherwise I would have not had any idea of what any of these characters even looked like, and it would have given me completely different for the thing. I mean, yeah, most books don't even have that. Most books have the cover and that's it, but I don't know, the design was a little bit but honestly, this is an absolute fantastic read. I know I've went on about it, and it is so much fun. It's so easy to read. I mean, I went from this back on to how reincarnated as a slime and goblins here, because I'm trying to beat the anime in terms of I want to read it all, then watch the anime and enjoy what stuff being animated, rather than go in depth for stuff that I wasn't that fussed about. But yeah, this was absolutely fantastic. Definitely worth a read. Thank you so much for 7 Seas for bringing it out, and thank you for G Novel Club for licensing it. I am now going to buy a G Novel Club subscription just for this. Because I mean, I had one before it expired, I wasn't reading it, I was like, I can't wait for more, I need to read more of it. Oh my god. Yes, thank you for coming, and if you've stayed, thank you again. Please, please, please try and check this one out. It's on G Novel Club. It's on, like I said, it's out on for physical. It's out to buy. Most places that store do light novels should have it. Don't pass up on this one. It's worth it. Thank you for coming, and thank you again for staying. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like. If you do like it and you check it out, please comment and let me know what you think of it as well, or if you've already read it, because I'm going to be doing a lot more of this, and much like Vending Machine, you probably. But that's it from me. If you enjoyed this, leave a like, comment, subscribe, whatever. There's some more stuff up here, and there's some more stuff over here, including the subscribe button. So please help us out. Or don't, I'm not fussed. Goodbye.